How are you pro-China and Russia and anti-imperialist? Okay, no. He's wearing an Audemars Piguet. He's wearing an Audemars Piguet, and that is an Audemars Piguet. We're making a tweet about this. This is, where is this? Dearborn, Michigan. I think Nikki was here, I do believe. I remember seeing her post about this on Twitter. When is this? 4 months ago. Maybe.
I'd like to thank everybody who's come out tonight in defiance of those who actually tried to have this event shut down, if you can believe it. And I think in terms of the showing here, how successful that was speaks for itself. But I'd also like to compliment the curiosity of our guests tonight, because we understand that some of the ideas that we're presenting and the angle from which we're presenting it is a little bit unorthodox. But it's necessary, most of all, in addition to action, to have clarity about the reality in which action is demanded in the first place. And the political situation here in the United States is among the realities we have the least amount of clarity on. If you ask the average American, even those who are outraged by the events going on in Gaza, why exactly we support the Zionist entity and the origins of the global system in which this kind of genocide is somehow tolerable and acceptable is completely unclear. So what I'd like to do tonight is provide some clarity. I'd like to provide some historical context of how exactly we got here in the first place. So it's important to understand the origins of the occupation.
How old is this guy? It says right here, it was in my 2010 in my freshman year of high school. So that would make him 16, 15. Okay, so he's 95, so he's a little bit older than me.
Of the America as it stands, because by far, the U.S. regime bears the greatest responsibility for the Zionist entity. And this is a fact that the forces of the resistance, including those brave fighters in Yemen, themselves recognized. Because without the global hegemony of the United States, it is doubtful whether or not there would have even been a Zionist entity today to even speak of. The U.S. openly delivers upwards of $4 billion annually to the Zionist entity in the name of giving it a military edge over the rest of its neighbors. And we can also see that it's the United States which is almost unconditionally replenishing all of the ammunition of the Zionist entity, in addition to the Iron Dome. As you can see here, the most foreign aid we've ever given to a country, military aid, is Israel. And then if you see Egypt up on third, that's just to bribe the Egyptians not to strike Israel. So that should also be included in the amount we give to Israel as well. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, does this benefit Americans? How does this benefit us? And if not, why is it that there are interests that are able to force upon us as a country, in the form of exacting our tax dollars, agendas and interests that clearly don't align with ours? Now, when I say that the United States is an occupied country, I'm not just trying to be hyperbolic. According to international law, an occupation is defined when a...
Oh yeah, they do want to annex Canada. I forgot about that. They really want to annex Canada. That's one of their... Look, here's what I know. I think here's what I can like... They want to annex Canada. They can't, and they just released their charter or their constitution, like the American Communist Party constitution, and it's how like there is only one Communist Party, there is no other Communist Party. So there's like a one and only kind of thing with them. I know Haas doesn't believe in human rights. There's that. Fuck, if I can find that tweet. Haas does not believe in human rights. So we can find this 6 hours ago, 26. Marxism is a theory of war. The ruling class is at war with you. Even as you are passive, they continue to take your rights away with the eventual goal of turning you into a slave. There is no limit to their sadistic and misanthropic appetite. They want you, your children, your communities, and your land. This has been the goal of the ruling class since the time of ancient Greece, to turn human beings into... See, this is where I'm like... This is where I lose it, because this is just like human... All ideology requires like us versus them. It requires an in-group and an out-group, and you have to characterize the out-group as a like an inhuman force. So when they say like the ruling class, I don't understand what like the capitalist class, the ruling class. I don't understand what they mean by the ruling class. Those who own, is it like the means of production? Is it like the labor? Like they have like workers under them? Is that like the specific characteristic of being the ruling class? To turning beings on property, enslaving them through debt out of their vain ignorance and pride. The only thing that has ever humbled them is by making them submit to combined strength of the toiling masses. Continue gibbering licking their boots by spreading anti-communist fairy tales, dividing yourselves by race and religion. When you grow the balls to finally fight back, you know where to find us. Here we go. Wait. Where can I find this anti-human rights post? Okay, wait. North Korea is elite when it comes to resistance strategy, and all forces of resistance should learn from their example. They don't give a f*** what anyone thinks. When America told them they can't have nukes, they got them anyway. When America isolated them from the entire world market, they became self-reliant. That's not true. They're like mass starvation. I don't think they're self-reliant. I think that's a bad. I don't think that's the description of North Korea I would use. Even when provoked, they regularly test and fire missiles, always on the offensive, keeping the South and America on their toes 24/7. They do not care about how many people have to die in a war of self-defense. This, right here, liberal humanitarian illusions.
We fought 2 world wars to say fascism bad, and then had 4 decades of fighting over if capitalism or communism produced the more hellish version of authoritarian fascism. What was it all for if everyone just wants to do a fascism again? What's the point?
People, there's something wrong with our country, and people understand that it's a trend that is slowly getting worse. Whether that's, economics, upward mobility. I think just the simple ability to reproduce and own your dwelling is getting more and more difficult, and it's something that people of all ages, but specifically those who don't have careers, don't have stability in their lives, don't own property, and don't have children, who want those things, or who've just had children and feel the squeeze on their lives. Something that we all understand is not getting better anytime soon. Given current trends, it's getting worse. And the proclivity towards fascism is people who have a utopian version of what would make the world a better place. Sorry, Haas, anti. This to me is it's a non-starter. I don't understand. And if someone could explain to me the perspective here, they do not care how many people have to die in a war of self-defense. Zero liberal humanitarian illusions. They have no problem annihilating entire cities if they need to. No moralism, no restrictive laws of war to follow. It is respectable that the forces of Islamic resistance go to such painstaking lengths to minimize civilian casualties, but such casualties are part of war. North Korea simply does not care about that. They do not care how many people have to die in order to defend themselves. America knows it. The world knows it. That's why no one fucks with them. There's a lesson to be learned here. I don't understand what he's talking about. One, North Korea is still standing because they're backed by China and Russia in some sense. If they weren't, I'm pretty sure North Korea wouldn't exist right now if we could go in and put an end to the Kim reign without causing a wider conflict. I think that we would have done that by now already. Their missile tests don't do well. Famously, their missile tests don't do well. They misfire them constantly, and they fall out of the sky. They are not self-sufficient. They're starving. Their cities are polluted. And there's just thousands upon thousands of eyewitness testimonies and defectors, escaped prisoners, footage, news coverage, people on the inside, journalism that proves this. This is where I don't understand the when they say the Western propaganda machine pushing the anti-North Korea narrative on us. I'm like, okay, is YouTube like a random YouTube video a Western propaganda machine? I don't understand this perspective. You think he's a plant? You think Haas is? You think he's a plant? I don't understand why people like this guy so much. The fundamental mistake of Zionists is the belief that they have achieved victory when they kill individual leaders. I agree with that. Look at how they are being slaughtered in Lebanon. Individual leaders come and go, but the people remain. To defeat the people is much more difficult than to kill their leaders. Leaders of the resistance do not fear death. Age-old conspiracy where everything is a plot to try to disprove your favorite narrative. Yeah, absolutely. It's not defeat. Defeat is when people stop resisting and stop fighting. Victory arises only at the summit of countless martyrs, esteemed leaders, and simple fighters alike. Victory is achieved when the enemy loses the capacity, willingness, or morale to fight, not when leaders survive intact. Yasser Arafat, who signed the Oslo Accords, died through natural causes. He lived a long life. That he deliver a victory for Palestine. Victory is never without cost. The blood of the martyrs is not in vain. The fight goes on. Okay. Fair enough. Plants. They like him because funny, confrontational, buff guy IRL streams before entertaining existed.
Madeline Pendleton does a really good history of the Korean War, and all the wild things that were funded by the CIA during the Cold War to prevent the rise of communism. Unfortunately, there's a lot of history. Russia and China aren't even good allies.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it, but the whole Juche, the whole concept of Juche, this in a country that's literally starving to death, where like the heights of North Koreans versus South Koreans, North Koreans are like 4 or 5, like 5 inches shorter on average than South Koreans, even though they're the same ethnicity, right? The malnourishment of the average person in North Korea is baffling. So to say that for somehow the Kim dynasty represents like workers' rights and is the workers' party and it is not just a monarchy or something akin to monarchy, and that how their behavior is somehow representative of the fight of communism to empower the worker, just makes no, like, I don't understand. It makes no sense. I don't understand how, like, I'm failing to comprehend how you could come to that perspective. How's debate? As chairman of the Communist Party, I am first of all a soldier.
It's simple. Why support North Korea? Answer: America is bad.
For the $10, YOLO swag 42069. Yeah, it just seems like the again this obsession with taking the ultimate contrarian position, the ultimate anti-American position. It's a natural consequence, I guess, of hating America and hating what America stands for. Is you're just going to go to what is the opposite of America? What is the opposite of wealth, prosperity, and vertical mobility? Is North Korea. So there you go. Everything I do, every breath I take is for the party. I live and die for the party. To serve the party and fulfill its ultimate victory is the sole cause of my life and existence. I do not have the privilege of having motivations outside ensuring the victory and supremacy of the Communist Party. I know no greater joy than to crush the enemies of the party. As a Muslim, the Communist Party is for me the army of Christ, the Messiah, and is the matter of religious duty that I serve in this army to defeat the forces of evil wickedness among mankind. When I first heard about Nasrallah's death, I was driving deep inside the heart of rural Russia and slated to go to the Donbass in a matter of days. From my earliest memories as a young child, Nasrallah was known to me as the embodiment of righteousness, heroism, and nobility in a cynical and postmodern age. He represented everything good, and just at the time when evil reigned supreme over the earth. I don't want to read all this. I don't want to read his like giant Nasrallah post. I wish they were the opposite, but in both of them, 90% of the money is held by 10% of the people. Yeah, fair enough. Is Haas a manlet? I don't want to. I'm not too height pilled. 5'7". Oh, is that Destiny? Oh, that's pretty short. Because Destiny's a pretty tiny guy, having been around him in real life. So he's shorter than Destiny. That's pretty impressive. Is that Zerka? It's pretty buff. That's pretty buff. Zerka, Hinkle, or Haas, Hinkle, bunch of hot girls. Wow, these people are so wow. What does he look? What does he look like that? What's his ethnicity? Same dead eye stare. Infra and Zerka were friends for a long time. Oh god. Okay, wait. Jackson Hinkle's younger than me? God damn it, man. I hate finding all these people my age now. American political commentator and influencer who hosted the web television show Legitimate Targets with Jackson Hinkle on X. He is known for his support of Vladimir Putin in the Russo-Ukraine war, and for his opposition to Israel in the Gaza-Israel conflict. Hinkle has dubbed himself an American conservative Marxist-Leninist, while journalists have described him as conservative, right-wing, and far-right, promoting syncretic mixes of conservative and communist ideas. He is self-described proponent of MAGA-Communism, calling on those who support working class to ally with the MAGA movement against an alleged globalist threat. Initially an environmentalist during his high school years, Hinkle has turned to promoting pro-fossil fuel stances in recent years. Fascinating. Journalists and fact-checkers like Bellingcat have said Hinkle has spread disinformation and conspiracy theories. He's been banned from another number of social media networks on the grounds of disinformation. His show, The Dive with Jackson Hinkle, was banned from Twitch for violating misinformation policies, propagating disinformation with the Russian-Ukraine war, moving it to Rumble since the start of the war. His post on X attracted virality, with some described as disinformation in the war.
In the pro-Palestinian movement, one of the biggest voices online isn't a former diplomat, regional expert, or even a Palestinian. It's a 24-year-old white kid from California named Jackson Hinkle.
That at all, just like you're not prepared to admit that Israel's a terrorist organization.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Kim Jong-un is a peace-seeking leader. We're going to de-NATO-fy Ukraine, and we're going to de-Nazify
All right, you just sound completely bonkers.
And people in the established Palestinian movement just want him to stop. He and his followers call themselves MAGA-Communists. And that isn't supposed to be a joke. The crowd here was mostly male and mostly white.
I will just say once and for all, so Piers Morgan never has to ask me again, no, I do not condemn Hamas. Very simple.
Jackson's social media following skyrocketed after the October 7th attack on Israel.
I've been to Russia, I've been to China. Their major cities are much nicer.
But Jackson had barely started speaking about Gaza
No, Russia's better and stronger than ever before, and their leader has a very high approval rating.
before he launched into pro-Russia and pro-China talking points.
The more America supports real terrorist entities like Israel, real terrorist countries like Ukraine, the more that we strengthen our actual enemies. Most of what is said about Vladimir Putin in the mainstream press is just factually not true.
Jackson has become a darling of the Kremlin and Russian state TV. He's made multiple trips to Russia this year.
We're in Tokmak, which is just a few kilometers away from the front line and back in it.
But Jackson wasn't always like this. Just a few years ago, he was a soft-spoken Southern California kid, a Bernie Sanders supporter who even ran for city council as a progressive.
Why do you think the Russians like you so much?
I speak truth.
You are, in some ways, the quintessential American man, right? You're a surfer guy, California. So for the Russians or the Chinese to have somebody like you to go over there and basically shit all over America.
No shitting on America. I love this country. I love the people. I just want it to be better.
Is there not a way to do that without having to fly back and forth to Moscow and seem to be embracing authoritarian regimes?
Well, they're far less authoritarian than the United States.
Come on, man.
Ultimately,
ultimately,
I live in the generation where for the first time there's going to be a lower standard of living than the previous generation. That's not good.
And I mean, I hear all that. You can't genuinely say that people in Russia and people in China have more liberties than people in the United States.
Well, there's no free speech.
You have a lot of free speech.
Really?
You
think I have free speech?
You don't think you have free speech?
No. I mean, what's the public square today? It's obviously social media.
You have 3 million followers on X. You can post whatever you want. You're hosting events here. How do you not have free speech? What part of your speech is being curtailed?
It's very simple. Yes, I have 3 million followers on X, but what
What kind of watch is he wearing? It looks like an unmarked gay.
about Instagram? I've been banned. YouTube, I've been banned. I was banned from Raya, a dating site.
Jackson's bans might have something to do with his repeated sharings of hateful posts and his celebrations of violence.
You look like you're in pain.
Whatever his motivations, his message, and his propaganda,
I kind of want to see more of that. There's also CNN. Jackson Hinkle interview.
Jackson Hinkle. Automatically, you've got a whole idea in your mind about what kind of animal he is and what he represents in terms of your feelings. You could be wrong. I'm Chris Cuomo. How you doing? And welcome to the Chris Cuomo Project. This is all about disagreement with decency, conversation in good faith, not about just pushing agendas and demonizing. We got enough of that. So thank you for subscribing and following. Thank you for checking me out on News Nation. Thank you very much for checking out the Substack if you care about long COVID. And that's the ChrisCuomoProject.substack.com. And you get these episodes ad-free when you subscribe. If that matters to you, there you go. Jackson Hinkle. Some of you are saying, why would you give him a platform? He's a fill in the blank. Because I don't operate that way. Look, if you're a Nazi or you're a hater or want to eradicate people, anti-Semitic, something like that, then you have no value. Then I don't have you on the show. But if you have ideas that are controversial, if you're somebody who outrages people because of what you say you want for this country or others, that aren't about destroying or hurting people, they're just different, then that's about conversation. Now, why do you think this kid, and I know he's 24 years old, he's a young man. I'm old, right? I could be his dad, so to me, everybody's young. But why? Now, it's good to have you here. It's nice to talk to somebody who's at the head of the next generation of a lot of social media and political thought in the country. Thanks for taking time with the old guy.
Thanks for having me on.
So first, I want to introduce the audience to who you are. Obviously, I'll do an introduction. But what do you believe you're about in terms of where you're headed and what you want to make of yourself within the media environment?
I think, to put it as briefly as possible, I'm an American patriot, I'm a communist, and a strong anti-imperialist. And today, with the issues we're facing in America, I think if we want to free America...
Okay, so for the first contradiction right off the bat, how are you pro-China and Russia and anti-imperialist? I don't understand. Like, it's immediate. It's immediate. There's no... That's the first sentence.
And get a country that's on the right track again. We really need to stop these foreign wars. So that's the focus for me.
MAGA-Communism. Explain.
MAGA-Communism is basically the idea that the MAGA movement, we always say that we don't like Trump for Trump, we like him for the movement and the people that make it up. That this MAGA movement represents political consciousness that we really haven't had in the United States in decades. A certain...
The whispers of Kazakhnis didn't disappear until the Russian Today interview. This would have been Dragery, womp womp, white boys are so bad. At Field Gusser, does a Lebanese Basque mix cry Serbian agents to you? Probs would have passed better than Megacom boy, lol. Yeah.
Level of class consciousness that is upset with the way our country is headed. They're upset with the fact that we have big banks that are deciding which way policy is headed in the United States. They're upset with the fact that we have big tech deciding what they can and cannot say, and that people like Bill Gates can buy up land throughout the country, but they're left straddled with debt. And I think that...
What is Elon doing? I guess Bill Gates buying the farmland is specific. Never mind. Keep going.
Too many people write off the MAGA movement as being racist or misogynistic, and I think we need to take a closer look at it.
Socialism will get you the stink eye, let alone communism. Other than the color of most MAGA hats, how do you expect communism to become popular with that group or any group in America?
Well, I think it already is. People just don't like the label. I think I know I've been to a number of Trump events, and my friends and colleagues who are big proponents of MAGA communism have been as well. And we talk to average MAGA voters, and they sign off on all of the basics, the basic tenets of what communism is. And when you tell them that that's communism, they kind of have a perplexed look, but they're like, okay, they're very open-minded. Again, I think too many people write them off. And, you look at the way that this country is oriented. You've brought it up before, that the two-party system is a dead end. That if we want to progress as a nation, we need to have different options, different parties. And I think you're right about that. And I think MAGA voters kind of understand that, because a lot of them were apolitical prior to the 2016 election. They view Donald Trump as an outsider, which is up for question, I think. But he's definitely not within the D.C. establishment crowd. That's why they're trying to keep him out of power again. So I think that they're probably the most open-minded group of people in America when it comes to any sort of ideology, even communism.
You're right about labels. They have such power because they're so necessary in a binary system. And especially if what you're trying to do is divide and creating an us and them, because there's power in that, especially if it's binary, right? If it's just Hinkle versus Cuomo, all you need to do to win is not prove that you're better. You just have to prove I'm worse. You know what I mean? If you can make me trip and fall during the race, you don't have to run that fast. And that's where we are with a lot of our political thought. I do think, though, that part of Trump's appeal, part of a lot of Republican appeal over the years have been free markets, the idea of no centralized control, of making your own dreams. Of course, this is capitalized within capitalism. And do you think that this is a fight you can win? Or do you think you may modify to the extent that you want this to spread to make it more palatable to people's experience?
I think crazier things have happened. And I also think it's a misnomer to say that what we're living in is capitalism, or that capitalism is the equivalent of free markets. I mean, think about what they always say about communism. They say that communism is a planned economy, and that is true. It is a planned economy. You can look at China today. It's a perfect example of a planned economy. But I think America is a planned economy as well, but it's just planned for different people and different interests. America is planned for the richest of the rich, for the financial elites, for multinational corporations. And I think, you look at China, or you look at countries that...
Okay, no. He's wearing an Audemars Piguet. He's wearing a Audemars Piguet, and that is an Audemars Piguet. I swear to God, unless it's fake. He's wearing a fucking AP. There has to be an image of this. This is the model of watch he's wearing. He's wearing an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Jackson Hinkle. I'm not crazy. No, that's the same one. Wait. Am I okay? Wait. Sorry, give me a second on this watch schizophrenia here. I have to find an image of him wearing an Audemars Piguet. Come on, big boy. Audemars Piguet. He posts so much. Audemars Piguet. Come on. You're trying to pull a painted veil away to see the picture behind it. There's no MAGA-Com ideology. Sine pipe. Okay, wait. That's the watch that he replied to me wearing. There's the Gevril Wall Street that was gifted to him. That's a dead child. Zoom right past that. Hinkle, Vitalik. Same picture of the same woman over and over again. Fuck, come on. Just give me one clear picture of the fucking watch he's wearing. I know he's not trying to hide. Like, I'm not saying he's trying to hide this. Oh God, there's so much gore on here.
What was the man supposed to spend his treason back on, Progs? If he can't spend the bribes on luxury goods before he's banished to Fed 5 either for espionage, what was the point of accepting political bribe money? I wonder how much he decided he was worth.
I wonder as well. Images. Okay, I'm not saying he's trying to hide the watch. I'm not saying this is I'm not saying I'm uncovering a secret here. I just want confirmation that he does in fact own an Audemars Piguet. Fuck, I need to get jacked, dude. It's fucking embarrassing that I'm not jacked, honestly. I'm just so fucking busy. I'm so fucking busy. I know that's a stupid excuse. I hate that excuse when people give it to me, but I cannot express to you how, like, just genuinely busy I am. It's beyond busy. Jackson Hinkle, nice watch. Oh my god, is that a clear photo? Oh my god. Copy image. Okay. I gotta like you can't like zoom in and enhance on Twitter. Oh my god, come on. I need like a. I can't tell if this is an AP, and I cannot. That's okay. That's an AP. That's an AP bracelet. That is totally an AP bracelet. It might just be like an homage. Okay, take this, put that there. Okay, that's still like it's too like low quality of a photo. What's the other one? Him with Jordan Peterson, hilarious. Oh my god. That's what's important about the watch is that I'm in the Twitter controversy for the I'm in Twitter not controversy, but like I went kind of viral on Twitter for pointing out that he's wearing a watch, and he corrected me and said it wasn't a Rolex, it was a Gervil Wall Street, which is a much different, much cheaper watch. If he's wearing an AP, if he's a communist and he's wearing an AP, I got a tip here. Invest in an analog watch, a reliable one like a Timex that don't get confiscated like most watches on G7 psych wards for being an unauthorized communications device. This is not a warning for you, Brogan, but someone watching the VOD later will know. That's what? Don't get confiscated like most watches do in G7 psych wards for being an unauthorized communication device. Invest. What? I don't have like an Apple. I mean, I guess my watch is like digital with an analog face. Jackson Hinkle, wearing watch. Okay, wait. Come on, like, I got a bad watch tan. I got tiny wrists and a bad watch tan. When I don't wear watches, I look fucked up, dude. Okay, yes, that like this. He's wearing this watch. Look, okay. It has the two indicators at the 12 o'clock hand. It has the crown. It has the bracelet type. It has the slim profile. It has the bolts around the outside. Okay. It looks like, I can't tell in this photo because there's screws on the bezel, but I can't tell if the bezels are different or not. Because this looks like it could be like an octagonal bezel, but I cannot tell from this photo. I need a different photo. I just need like a multiple, like a cross-reference photo with this one. Yeah, like this. It has screws. There is screws on those are screws on the bezel. If the bezel's not octagonal, I just need more confirmation. Wait, come on. That's a good photo right there. New. Okay. It's a Royal Oak. He's wearing a Royal Oak. That is an octagonal bezel with screws. I'm right. Royal Oak self-winding 45K. Something like this, something where it's super sleek, okay? One sec. Close that out. Take this. Okay. Let's do a little cross-reference here. This has to be. I'm not crazy. This has to be this watch. Give me one more. Okay. We're making a tweet about this. Now there's something. Okay. Wait. There's something.
Drugs, cars, horse. Little boys are predictable in what they spend their new money on. Of course, the dude being bribed by China and Russia is going to have stupidly expensive dumb stuff. He's a shill, Brogs. It's smoke and mirrors. You're smarter.
I don't mind. It's not the fact that he's wearing an expensive watch. It's the fact that he's a self-proclaimed communist. Also, I love when he edits himself into photos with other people. It's so fucking funny. It's the fact that he's a communist. It's the fact that he's a self-proclaimed and like anti-imperialist, anti-American, anti-democratic communist, MAGA-Communist explicitly, and he's wearing an RPK. If he's wearing any other watch, that's more egregious than a Rolex. Okay, because he's wearing it here. Like I'm not fucking crazy. He's wearing it in this photo. There's the same watch. There's the same. You can see Royal Oaks have this extremely specific bracelet. This very sleek, seamless bracelet. Okay. You see the bracelet. You see like the sleek. You have to like know what a Royal Oak really looks like to like understand like why that is empirically a royal oak, unequivocally a royal oak. Jackson Hinkle interview.
Dictators need enablers. This Jackson a bit viral. Themselves and terrorists do gooder in propaganda. Months ago, Jackson got the grand tour of Moscow. Who knows who else he may have met? Look, what he does, take it from someone who...
God, man. Come on, man. Get me off this fucking schizo arc, please. Is this good? Okay, what do you think? Is this enough proof? Is this enough proof that he's wearing a royal oak? Just like I just need I just need evidence that he's wearing a royal oak. There's one thing if I could find the exact watch, because you can see right there. There's a little symbol. There's a little motif above the 6 o'clock hour indicator. So you have right here, Audemars Piguet. You have the crown. You have the octagonal bezel with the screws. You have the bracelet. You have, unless it's a fake watch, you have everything in place. I just need to figure out what that symbol right there is, and then we're good. He's a normal dude being too much money. Wait. They could use deductive reasoning. It's off because he's not a communist. He's a normal dude being too much money. Moral compass. You feel it. Be careful. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just let me have my fun here. Let me have my fun here. Let me have a little fun, okay? Royal oak with AP logo. Like this. No, it's still not. The crown is too big on that. The crown is way too big on that. It doesn't say with AP logo. I wish it could be. Come on, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. Something like this. Now it's still too like the integrated bracelet is what they call it. When there's no connector, you can't change the bracelet. It's integrated into the dial of the watch, but the way the integrated bracelet's connected is off. See here, it's like there's no big chunk. It like cuts in a little bit. It's gotta be that. It's gotta be this. It's hard to explain the way. Okay, do you see? I'm like pointing at my screen as well because for some reason I'm fucking retarded. Do you see the way the bracelet comes up to the dial? On this one, the bracelet comes to the dial, and then there's a. Wait, why can't you see my right here? Okay, this side right here. The bracelet comes up to the dial, and there's this like bevel inwards where it's like fully integrated into the whole silhouette. On this one, I can't tell if this part is a shadow or if it's part of the actual watch, but it looks like this one comes in and then like juts out where like this wouldn't be. Like the bracelet looks thinner on this one than this one. On the other side, it doesn't look like it's the case. This has to be it. I'm going with it. Okay. I'm going for it. I'm going for the tweet. The tweet's authored. Tweet's authored. I just want to like, I don't know. It's still funny, regardless if I'm right or not. I'm definitely. Okay, no. This is what I mean. It's more like this one. See how this one, the bezel, the bracelet squeezes into. It's less wide, and it squeezes into the dial more. Versus this one, where the bezel, where the dial and the bracelet are like integrated into this big chunky piece. This one's like a bit sleeker, and the dial sticks out more. Anyway, we'll see. Probably a waste of my time, but hey, it's funny. Back to where that? Oh man, I lost that. Chris Cuomo, fucking Jackson Hinkle interview. Is he? Wait, Jackson Hinkle paid by Russia. Bugatti car, our first lady on the fake stories aimed at Americans. Journalist Hinkle agrees with Carlson that Moscow is safer than any U.S. city. Also singled out the subway as one of the exemplary aspects of Moscow. American journalist Jackson Hinkle agreed with his colleague Tucker Carlson opinion. Russian news agency, okay. American journalist Jackson Hinkle, Jesus fucking Christ. Moscow is much cleaner and safer than any major city in the U.S. I entirely agree. Hinkle wrote on his page at social network earlier. Carlson said the World Government Summit in Dubai. That was the Russian capital is much cleaner, safer. Okay, that's a nothing sandwich here. Jackson Hinkle is a bit of a fruity name. Hey, G-Shock gang indeed. F***ing G-Shock. Full Metal Cassie Oak. G-Shock gang. Come on, with me. Earlier this week, social media, when is this? This is last year. I want to see some new Jackson Hinkle news. Fake ex-engagement, conspiracy theorist, and activist Jackson Hinkle speaks at UN. The Jewish Chronicle. Can I get some unbiased reporting? Here we go. Banned from Instagram. Grand Seiko. I would really fuck with I buy a Grand Seiko Snowflake actually as my second watch. I feel like your first watch should be something a little ubiquitous. As a professional man, you should always go with something, Submariner, something that's just very ubiquitous. But a second watch would absolutely be a Grand Seiko Snowflake. I love that fucking watch so much. It's difficult to say which event finally served as the proverbial straw that partially broke the camel's back for Jackson Hinkle's propaganda machine. However, the posting of numerous photoshopped images depicting him meeting world leaders such as North Korean leader Kim Jong-un might have been a significant factor in Hinkle's Instagram page being removed. Another factor that may have compelled Meta Instagram parent company to finally take action could have been the steady stream of misinformation published on his page. This includes disputing the well-documented instances of chemical weapons used by Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, from whom Hinkle adoringly refers to as a hero. In fact, on the very day Hinkle's social media pages were taken down, he was busy spreading other appalling lie. He stated Ukraine was responsible for the horrific Moscow concert hall attack. Jesus fucking Christ. And in true Hinkle form, it did not matter the ISIS had claimed responsibility for the attack, including releasing footage that the terrorists filmed of themselves shooting civilians at point-blank range. As was the case with the October 7th massacre, in which Hamas terrorists captured the atrocities on body cam, Hinkle still denied ISIS terrorists were behind the bloodshed, even as they proudly broadcast their murderous rampage to billions around the world. In any event, sanity has prevailed. Hinkle's dissolute, delusional, and incoherent ramblings, which have mostly praised Hamas and outspoken Abdu Obadah, of whom Hinkle appears particularly fond, will no longer be heard on Instagram. Okay, it's still a nothing sandwich. I want, just objective. Is this guy important? Dinkle? Dick Hinkle? Dinkle Hinkle? Hinkle is the fruity part. Hinkelstein. Benzer back from the Hegel break. Yeah, because the thing is, he's very big on Twitter. He's big on Twitter because he just seems to share it's like a news spam bot is kind of like how his Twitter account operates. He's always he posts 10 hours a day, every day. That looks AI generated. It's AI generated. What the fuck is wrong with how could you repost this? Reposted legitimate targets. It's AI generated. Are you fucking kidding me? This image isn't fucking real. Look at the eyes. Look at the face back here. How do you not take into account what you post on your fucking... you can tell it was AI generated the second you fucking see the outside, because there's a weird perfection to it. What is it with fucking MAGA-Comms and using AI? Every fucking MAGA-Com account that barks at me on Twitter has an AI generated profile picture. Also, why are they all dramatically different heights? Why is this guy so tall? This guy has no hand. This is so fucking clockable, dude. Come on. It's immediately clockable. Anyway, he's always share he just posts 24/7. I feel like that's why he has so many followers. It's just he's always just reposting stuff. It's like a dopamine drip news service.